out of the norm choices, and this Excalibur deck is exactly that. It has more options than you would normally expect. Sacrifices, I would say, a little bit of consistency in order to accomplish that, but that surprise factor can be pretty important in the Pokemon trading card game.
Yeah, Logan's fun fact, he's been competing for 8 years. Well, Yoshi said, oh, okay, well, I got one better. I've been competing for 16 years. More and a little double of the whole career for Logan there.
Indeed, 16 years is a very long time. And I would know. I feel like today's theme is how old Pablo actually is.
I mean, I've been trying. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, Kyogre, Lost Box in general has a decent matchup against Qianpao. We'll see if the extra cards, extra spice that Yoshi has with him in his deck will actually allow him to get an edge, or will Kyogre prevail?
Yoshi's one of those players that I always love getting to talk to during an event, because the way his mind works is just crazy to think about. He always wants to, he doesn't want to win with just any old meta deck or any old like 60 that everyone's playing. He wants to be able to show people like, hey, yeah, you just lost to this. Good job.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of personality that you can infuse to your decks with certain card choices, regional picks, and even flipping over your prices. Yeah, we already see something very original right here.
Ooh, double Chorus's Experiment, Raikou V in the prize cards for Logan. That Raikou could come in handy against something like that Origin Form Palkia V-Star, and then of course Chorus's Experiment and Roxanne. Some of your only supporters in the deck for Logan. Meanwhile, Yoshi has that Lumineon V in the prize cards. A couple Water Energies, nothing really else to go on, but Lumineon, just the one-up copy in the list.
Yeah, that Lumineon is definitely one of those original cards, and quite unlucky for Logan to prize over half of your supporters, right? The deck barely plays any, 4 Colress, 1 Roxanne, and we are seeing over half of them already, which can usually be a big deal when playing Lost Box.
Well, speaking of a big deal, going first as that Qianpao, Yoshi is able to hopefully get a Excalibur in play before any sort of shenanigans happen too much. But wow, okay. 2 Chorus's Experiment in the prize cards for Logan, 2 in hand.
That's pretty good. Yeah. I will definitely make up for your prizes, especially against a deck that doesn't usually play heavy hand disruption. There is an Iono in the deck, but that's it, right? So I think you can fully expect to be able to Colress back-to-back, which is always going to be very good, and then you hit a few early prizes. That's also going to be pretty good to free those other 2 up.
Yoshi starting the Frigibacks, retreats for the energy to bring up that Qianpao EX. Now we have Shivery Chill to search the deck for 2 Water Energies, put them in the hand. All right, start here, but definitely needs another Pokemon on the bench to kind of escape that escape rope play.
Indeed, and now we are going to see how the differences in the standardization of Qianpao, which I think we've hit a point where most players are playing the exact same 60 cards or something within that. Yoshi definitely straying away from that. Does have a lot of the similar structure and engine, but one big card here is Mew EX. Yeah, Mew EX could allow Yoshi to get back-to-back Greninja attack somehow. It's a card that Logan probably will not expect coming, and it could also be an easier-ish way to knock back the Dragonite V if that ever ends up attacking a Qianpao. The residual damage that you deal to yourself can be a big deal, but it just opens up different options and gives you a little bit of extra wiggle room with the restart ability. So I like that inclusion. Perhaps not going to be super key in this matchup, but I feel like that's one of the cards that probably has surprised some of Yoshi's opponents that led him up to this point.
Don't forget about the free retreat as well. Being able to have that pivot.
Yep. Especially with cross switcher, right? That can be pretty good if you don't have the full combo yet. You promote that, and then you are able to draw those missing pieces or see if you get them.
Ultra Ball is going to discard one of the Water Energies that Yoshi found off that Shivery Chill. Eyeing down maybe another water, maybe that Skater's Park.
Yeah, Skater's Park is another card that is very unique in Yoshi's build. It's a great card to be able to conserve energy by putting the energies back into your hand after retreat synergizes really well with both Qianbao searching for those energies and Baxcalibur attaching them. So we'll have to see if that ever factors in. And also, it also kind of synergizes against Logan, because usually as the Kyogre player, you want a lot of energies in the discard pile so that you can replenish them with Energy Recycler and pull off that big Kyogre play.
And of course, still has that Origin Form Palkia V-Star, using that V-Star ability to grab those water energies from the discard if needed. But here's just the concealed cards, Letter of Encouragement, and another Frigibax.
Letter of Encouragement, that is another of those unique card choices by Yoshi. We'll have to see if that comes into play. Searching for 3 basic energy cards after a knockout is a pretty big deal. And then finally finishing the turn with Manaphy to protect from a potential Turbo Greninja play. Solid start for Yoshi here.
Meanwhile, Logan's going to start things off with one of the 2 Colress's experiments. Finds a Battle VIP pass. Going to be the first grab there for Seal Stone, Psychic Energy, Energy Recycler, and then Artazone.
Indeed. So I think one of the issues that Lost Box tends to run into in the early game is when you Colress on turn 1, you find so many good cards, right? That whatever you Lost Zone is still going to hurt. And Force Seal Stone might be the least valuable of these. Energy and Energy Recycler, so valuable resources to have for the whole game. So those are going to be the picks. And that means 1 Energy Recycler available left if the Kyogre is ever going to hit the field.
And those picks are always a little awkward when you aren't able to search your deck before that Colress's experiment, because you have no idea what's prized. Now Logan's going to be able to go through and see, oh yeah, okay, 2 Colress's experiments prized. Maybe I didn't even need the 4 Seal Stone because I already have the other one in hand.
Yeah, definitely before you check your deck, making those decisions, you have to make them based on your counts in the deck, right? You cannot assume or you cannot prevent your prizes affecting you. You just have to make the call based on your deck knowledge. But now that Logan is able to check his whole deck and figure out his prize cards, every flower selecting and every Colress will be a little easier in the sense that now you know exactly what you count on, as long as you thoroughly check your prizes.
Eyeing down to Comfey with that Battle VIP pass. Starting the Sableye, never really where you want to be. You always want to have access to that flower selecting as soon as possible. There's a ton of energies in hand along with the switch card, so we'll be able to at least get a couple flower selectings off this turn.
Indeed. We'll be able to get 4 cards in the Lost Zone, pretty much guaranteed. However, being able to then retreat, tough choice there.
Yeah, being able to retreat is going to be a premium, but with all these energies, you at least get 1 of those. And having used the switch card already, Logan can flower selecting here, but I don't think he'll have a way to get into the Cramorant if he finds one. Does have the escape rope here.
Yeah, and then with the Artisan, he can actually find it. There we go. Yeah, so very bare bones in the last card, finding that switching card. Now, Yoshi will be the one to decide which Pokemon either gets KO'd or gets attacked. I think as Yoshi, there's merit to letting the Greninja take some damage off this Cramorant. However, that doesn't mean, oh, Logan didn't get a KO, that's good, because then that Greninja is in range of Sableye sniping it along with a Manaphy at a later point in the game, and could be problematic. So sometimes it is worth considering putting up one of the Frigibacks. I know, like, you want to set up Excalibur, you know it can't be super targeted by Lost Box in general, but that way, there's 50 damage wasted from Cramorant, whereas against Greninja, all the damage is useful later down the line.
Another thing to take into account is the Letter of Encouragement in the hand for Yoshi, now able to use it to grab 3 energies on his turn.
The 3 water energies, which will be very useful as long as the Excalibur hits play. And I think one big thing missing from Yoshi's hand is that Irida to set it up.
Does have option to draw with concealed cards here. Can also thin the deck out with Artazone yet again. But you're at least going to get 5 energies.
Yeah.
Shivery Chill and Letter of Encouragement. It's a card that has not really seen much play at all. We got Professor's Letter at home, basically.
Indeed, Logan even choosing to read the card. And with 2 water energies prized for Yoshi, the benefit of the Letter of Encouragement is there, but now there's no more energies for Shivery Chill. So less thinning than he would like to maximize his chances of finding that Urda of the concealed cards. But this concealed cards has got to be the best concealed cards in the history of concealed cards if Yoshi wants to keep up the pace that Logan set by that KO.
There's been some pretty good ones throughout the history. Yeah? Gonna thin out a little bit more with this Artisan, maybe get another Frigibacks here.
Yeah, extra Frigibacks would make sense. Yoshi is playing the 60-70 HP split, so this 70 HP Frigibacks or the 60 HP Bidoof, that's a little risky. Not a big fan of that. You're putting it all on the line of this concealed cards, and if Logan is able to turbo his Lost Zone into 10 cards, he has the perfect numbers to snipe that 60 HP Frigibacks and the 60 HP Bidoof.
I guess the one thing, it's kind of a mix between Turbo and Kyogre, playing 2 Lost Vacuum in the deck, so it is possible. Here is the 2 cards off concealed cards.
2 big cards.
Here needed.
2 big cards. What are they? Rare Candy and Cross Switcher. So gonna be not doing much, unfortunately, this turn for Yoshi.
Yeah, had to use all the energies that he had in hand from the previous turn. So didn't get that attachment turn 1. Had to retreat, sorry. So only 1 energy on that Qianpao EX. And we're going to see a pass here. Only 1 Frigibacks in play. This is scary.
This is definitely a scary position to be in. I think with that second Frigibacks, even if Logan gets 2 Sableye, you're still feeling all right, but Logan is 1 card away, or a couple cards away, and the Lost Vacuum and a switching card is what he needs. Did not find that Lost Vacuum, but still has a couple Comfeys to try and get there.
Did find a couple more switching cards in that 5 off the Colossus experiment, so can go ahead and grab that along with something like that Mirage Gate, maybe. Yeah, I think the Escape Rope's too valuable, but getting rid of the energy and the Nest Ball's definitely going to hurt.
Yeah, Escape Rope does seem to hit the Lost Zone. He's already holding the one he got from his prize cards and the switch card, so that's going to be good enough to either power up the get to 10. Yeah, still needs another one to be able to retreat finally into Sableye, or just get another hit with Cramorant. And I do think there's a little less pressure. You would love to pull this off, but you have the information that Yoshi definitely does not have Rare Candy Excalibur. So hitting for 110 on Qianpao is less decisive, if you will, but you're still very far ahead here as Logan getting this damage in. There was no response. You get another free attack of Cramorant. You could even attack something on the bench with the Escape Rope, setting up that Greninja. So lots of possibilities here.
And Nest Ball for the Greninja means 2 more opportunities to try to draw into that Lost Vacuum. Does not have it just yet, but another switch card to the hand. So we're going to spin the wheel 1 more time and then another time.
All right, 6 cards in a Lost Zone. Comfey number 1 will get us to 7. Comfey number 2 will get us to 8. And the Artisan in play is Logan. So he needs to find that Lost Vacuum, and that could honestly seal the game. And there it is. Immediately grabs it. I think based on
didn't even need to look at the other card.
Yeah, based on his like recomposure, like yes, I hit the card. I think we're about to see a Sableye play.
Well, is there only 7 in the Lost Zone?
Right, there's 7, but there's going to be another Comfey, and then with the Lost Vacuum, he's going to Lost Vacuum his own Artisan and an extra card, getting to 10, and that's bye-bye Bidoof and bye-bye Frigibacks.
And that's bye-bye to game 1.
Bye-bye to game 1, I would imagine so.
Lightning Energy on the active Comfey, so you can retreat to the other one, switch card in hand as well, so here we're going to see that other flower selecting, and like you said, it is inevitable. Lost Vacuum already found.
Yep. Easy pick there as well. That Echoing Horn so valuable in case the game isn't immediately scooped after this Sableye KO on these 2 Pokemon. I think that Echoing Horn just bring back the 60 HP friend and knock it out again.
And yep, there we go. Yoshi's like, I'm going to go first game 2. What a turn.
Now, Yoshi chose not to grab that extra Frigibacks, and I also kind of agree with that in the sense that if your opponent gets what just happened, the game's over. If your opponent doesn't get that, then you're more likely to succeed by having a Bibarel and a Excalibur than having just the Excalibur, right? Even though you didn't need much to respond to the Cramorant next turn, in the longer sense of the game, that definitely makes sense. So it's a calculated risk. my opponent gets the Sableye. Let's go to game 2. My opponent doesn't get the Sableye. I have a little stronger board for the follow-up turn as long as I'm able to find at least the B-Barrel.
So there is one thing I do want to say. The other Frigibax was the 70 HP one. Does that change your mind at all?
Yes, that's like, so it makes sense because then you have guaranteed survivability of one of the Frigibaxes, but like as the game goes on, because you're already behind, there's definitely more merit to having one B-Barrel, taking the risk of having one B-Barrel and one Baxcalibur as opposed to one Baxcalibur with no B-Barrel and then only drawing 2 per turn with Greninja. Your hand will definitely deplete out of resources quite quickly if you don't have that B-Barrel.
All about those calculated risks, but Yoshi's calculator just died.
Indeed, and then one thing that definitely affected this game, I would say, is the fact that with all these extra different cards that Yoshi is running in his deck, he only has room for one Bidoof and one B-Barrel. So the usual standard that we have seen be very successful at the regional level has been the 2-2. I myself am a fan of the 2-2, but clearly this has worked so far for Yoshi. So we'll see how this game 2 goes.
All right, does look like a mulligan from Logan. Yoshi here getting the prizes out. That's a lot of 1-ofs, but when your deck is full of 1-ofs, Iono, Origin Form, Palkia V-Star, and that B-Barrel.
Yep, the one B-Barrel. There's a 1-1 Palkia V-Star, which we didn't see any hint at the previous game, and there's a 1-1 B-Barrel. And this is exactly the problem with playing 1-1 lines. Yes, you don't need more than one of either, but you run this risk, right? And it's a low risk. It's once again a calculated risk. You prize the B-Barrel 1 out of 10 games. You prize the Palkia 1 out of 10 games. But there is a combination of, wow, a combination where you prize 2 of the cards that you need, such as we are seeing for Logan.
Now, Logan was unaffected by those 2 Colress's experiments in the prize cards the first game. And it looks like going to be unaffected yet again. Another Colress experiment in the hand for Logan, but he's going to have to sit through Yoshi's first turn here. Starts that Frigibax, has a Nest Ball, and Yoshi's hand at least looks a little better. I believe there's a Rare Candy Baxcalibur.
Okay, Rare Candy Baxcalibur is good as long as you're able to like have a field along with that. I feel like seeing the Nest Ball first probably means there's no Battle VIP Pass, which is a little unfortunate for his setup. He's only playing 2 though. So making room for different cards. I also hadn't realized until just now. Yeah, maybe you choose to go second, but 2 Battle VIP Pass, definitely much lower odds. I feel like we've seen different amounts of Battle VIP Pass in the players' decks. I think 1 and 4 are the ones that make the most sense. 4 to maximize the chances. 1 to, in case you play something to search for it, like Irida. 2, okay, you don't want to prize that 1 Battle VIP Pass, right? I think anyone who plays 3 is very questionable.
You hear that? Pablo's calling all y'all out. Yoshi's just taking a look at the deck, checking what is prized. Going to get a little unfortunate news, but going to have to deal with what the cards have laid out for you. This is the last round of our Day 1 Swiss. Winner of this game will move on to Day 2 at 6-2-1. And from there, still even needs a lot of work to try to make it a deep run in this tournament. Escape Rope is going to bring up that Chanpao EX, though, so we'll be able to thin a little bit more with Shivery Chill yet again.
And now I didn't see much else from Yoshi, so this opens up an opportunity for Logan to get a KO on that Frigibax with a simple Escape Rope and the Cramorant. And Yoshi doesn't know it, but Logan's hand is incredibly good. Prizing 2 Colress has not been a problem. He's holding a Battle VIP Pass, he's holding a Colress, so as long as there's an Escape Rope, that Frigibax is once again bye-bye.
Gonna grab these 2 energies off Shivery Chill, and are you sure there's nothing in that hand? Because that would be...
I could not tell. I didn't see anything else. It's hard sometimes to see from this top angle to know exactly what's in their hand. A lot of the times I find myself talking a lot about how they really need this card and how difficult it is to find, and they already have it. I see Rare Candy, I see Baxcalibur. Oh, I see a Bidoof.
Yep.
Is that a Bidoof?
Yeah, that's a Bidoof. It is a good Pokemon to put down for Escape Rope, especially with B-Barrel prized.
Yep. And I think I see a Palkia towards the end. So prized both evolutions, but does have both basic Pokemon available, I think. Might be the Luminion?
It's Luminion. It's that beautiful alternate art.
Oh, okay, there you go. So that one's probably not hitting the field this turn. And I guess if Logan is able to find that escape rope, then it's going to be a tough choice for Yoshi on which to KO. But as long as he's aware that the B-roll is priced, then I guess that simplifies the choice a little.
Nice to live that good.
Yoshi's, I don't know if y'all can hear him, but it must be nice to live that good.
I mean, you really cannot complain that your opponent starts Battle VIP Pass when they play 4 and you play 2, right? You are generally hurting your own chances by not playing those 4, which is understandable, right? There's cuts to be made, there's corners to be cut. I'm not sure that's one of the corners that I would cut, but here we go. Yeah, no Cramorant though, so no focus on attacking. Not sure if Logan top-decked a Nest Ball or top-decked the Cramorant, so maybe not valuing that as much, just really wanting to go through the deck. A Greninja play would be fantastic here as well, except Bidoof has its own ability which prevents Radiant Greninja.
We're going to start things off after that Battle VIP Pass with the Colress's Experiment. Finds a lot of energy in these 5 cards. 2 Psychics and that Lightning go along with the Artizone and Escape Rope.
That is a lot of prizes now for the Kyogre version. We've talked about how important energies are. You at least need 8 available if you want to pull off a maximum damage Kyogre. Usually you don't need to against Baxcalibur decks as long as you have some leftover damage by Spiritomb. But energies are ways to retreat, energies are ways to attack, and energies are draw with Greninja as we see for the concealed card. So very important resources to have access to.
Now, do you like the Colress and the flower selecting before concealed cards? I know we've seen a lot of the opposite throughout the years.
Yeah, so I feel like that one's a little more questionable. It depends on how many energies you have, if you're planning on attaching an energy this turn or not, how crucial it is, if you're planning on retreating. So I think that's how you answer that sort of question here and the sequencing.
4 in the Lost Zone now. Had to get rid of the Artizone and Escape Rope and Switch Cart. So a lot of resources had to go to the Lost Zone and just has to pass.
Did I miss the Cramorant being priced? Because I feel like that's the only reason you wouldn't go for it, or you would keep the Artisan. Maybe I'm mistaken, but definitely would have loved to see the aggression, especially knocking out the Bidoof, right? You don't know that Yoshi has it priced, so knocking it out, super, super important.
Now this Hisuian Heavy Ball is not going to be as good as it can. It cannot grab those evolutions
If only.
in the prize cards. Oh my gosh.
If only,
right?
Jeremy. He's on Heavy Ball almost saying here, trick or treat.
Yoshi does find another Chien-Pao EX though, and we know that there is a Rare Candy Baxcalibur in hand. As long as there's an energy, you can retreat and then get things going with Shivery Chill. Start taking some knockouts on Comfey.
Yeah, prizes rearranged in a way where the B-Barrel just ended up in the same spot, so not gonna have access to it too quickly. We do have the Rare Candy Excalibur though, so we are going to see Yoshi be the aggressor this time around.
I like the attach before the Baxcalibur, just saying, yeah, maybe I don't have it. Ah, just kidding. Super cold.
Yeah, Super Gold able to attach to any Pokemon, so just being a little careful there. We're gonna see a Luminion. What are we grabbing here, Jeremy? I'm honestly not sure. Could be Iono, could be Irida. Irida does set up your board a little bit more, perhaps.
Well, Iono's in the prizes.
Oh,
so.
there you go. There you go.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be Irida. That's the only other supporter in the list. So, yeah, it's going to be Irida.
There's a boss.
Oh, there is a boss. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's nothing here that you would
Yeah,
want
the boss
to
is
KO
in the hand.
other than the Comfey. That's true. So let's go for the Irida.
Irida can grab Cross Switcher or something like that as well.
Cross Switcher. I think it's a little too early for the Cross Switcher play with or against the Manaphy. That would be almost game-ending as the Sableye. The previous game knocking out both the Manaphy's, both the Comfeys, denying that research, and now there's no follow-up Colress experiment in Logan's hand. With 2 of those being prized, it's going to be very, very problematic.
Honestly, it could all come down to this concealed cards from Yoshi here. I believe has pretty much everything in hand except for the second Cross Switcher and the Canceling Clone. You can grab one of those off this Irida, and it's, ooh, Yoshi's eyeing down that Canceling Clone. Okay, no, there's no other Cross Switcher in hand. We're fine. Maybe planning for next turn.
Yeah, planning for next turn, being able to draw a little bit more with Greninja, accumulate cards. One thing that you do know when you're playing against Lost Box is precisely that. They definitely do not play Judge, or 99 out of 100 they do not play Judge. 95 out of 100 times they do not play Iono. Only Giratina sometimes plays Iono, and not even then all the time. So whatever you have in your hand is going to stick. So the more you thin and the more you draw with Greninja, the better it will be for you.
Yeah, no need to play around Roxanne at this point in the game right now. There's that Shivery Chill grabbing 2 more water energies out of the deck. And we're at least going to see a knockout on this Comfey. You're going to have to get rid of 2 energies to do it, which is never what you really want to do, but it will leave Logan with just 1 Comfey in play.
Yeah, only 1 Comfey, no Colress in hand. Does have the Greninja though, so that extra draw power will definitely come in handy. No more easy targets for Sableye to munch on Yoshi's bench anymore, so we're definitely in for a game, and I think this matchup can come down to, does Lost Box get so far ahead in the beginning that it's really hard for Baxcalibur to catch up, or can Baxcalibur stabilize enough to the point where Lost Box just cannot keep up with the higher HPs and the higher damage output?
And there's also the possibility of you taking a knockout here, grabbing that B barrel from the prize cards, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, we did see it was left at the middle, I believe. So.
Oh, the heavy ball, you shipped him
right
around.
after. I mean, after the heavy ball. I'm fairly certain that it was after heavy ball. Both Palkia V-Star and the B barrel were in the middle.
Well, there's that Hail Blade discarding both the energies on Qianpao EX. Grabs the Irida from the prize cards. Not the B-Barrel, but Irida is still just as good.
Yeah, Irida pretty good. And being able to accumulate resources, like I said, if your hand's not going to be attacked too much, you don't mind. Oh, there's a Colress. Nice. Was that the top deck? I believe it was.
That was the last Colress in the deck, too. Remember, both of them are in the prize cards.
And there is the Cramorant. So I guess Logan played it extremely safe the previous turn, but he definitely had the option to at least be a prize ahead, right? The Cramorant would have gone down to the Baxcalibur, I mean to the Qianpao EX, but being 1 prize ahead can be very, very key.
It was that threat of the turn 2 Moonlight Shuriken. It always is looming against a deck like Qianpao. And then here is a Flower selecting. A little awkward. Energy Recycler, Mirage Gate.
Looked like me when I drew my cards last time.
Energy Recycler, always difficult, especially as we do have already, I believe, a couple of energies in the Lost Zone and 1 prize. So that would leave Logan with no margin for error in terms of the Kyogre play, if that's ever what he ends up going for. I personally, yeah, I like keeping the Energy Recycler just because you do have plenty of Mirage Gates still left, and none are priced, right? So you do have access to those resources. Usually you want 4. I think 3 is good enough for this matchup.
I do believe it's an Artizone under that Lightning Energy. So only 1 in the Lost Zone, but your point is still very valid. You need to play pretty tight to be able to have all the resources available at the end of the game. Retreat to the Raikou V here. Not having access to any more Comfey means no more Flower selecting, but can get to 10 maybe here with a Lost Vacuum and a Tool, or
a Stadium.
I don't see one though.
Oh,
no!
See a pass. That is gonna be a problem. I'm very surprised at this. Why not just poke with Cramorant? Oh, Cramorant went to Lost.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed that. Okay, I really think we should be putting more value on the Cramorant.
It's not so innocent anymore. Chose to keep a few other cards over that Cramorant Escape Rope off that Colress's Experiment. And this is allowing Yoshi to open up this game 2 here. Shivery Chill grabbing 2 more waters. I believe there's 2 superior energy retrievals in hand for Yoshi, so plenty of energy.
Yeah, I think Logan definitely has the option to Kyogre in the late game, but getting those 2 prizes is going to be very crucial. And the way he could possibly do it is if Yoshi somehow doesn't end up benching the mana fee this turn or the next, then Logan could go Dragonite KO the Qianpao, which puts Yoshi at a single prize card, and then he goes Echoing Horn and pulls up the Kyogre play, knocking out Qianpao and Luminion. But that feels like a really big ask with the fact that there's 2 Colress's prize, so the dig next turn is not going to be good enough with only 1 Comfey in play.
And a perfect card drawn for Yoshi here. That Skater's Park off the concealed cards will allow him to retreat the Chien-Pao and keep the energies as well if he wants to. There is that boss's orders in hand, the canceling Cologne. I think we're going to see a Moonlight Shuriken play this turn.
Yeah, for sure. I think the boss's orders canceling Cologne play is going to be perfect, especially combined with that Skater's board. There's nothing stopping that. That mana fee is going to be in the active. Both of these Comfey and Sableye probably going to be targeted down. And then what's your response? You have no Colress, no Comfey. You draw 2 cards with Greninja. Those can't bail you out.
It's looking like Yoshi's going the other route here. Irida for the cross switcher already has one in hand.
Yeah, either way works, right? Either way. I honestly would have personally preferred the boss and save the cross switchers for later. I'm not sure which one's easier to pull off. I guess
the Skater Park helps out Logan, I guess.
I don't think it does. Not when he has no Comfey.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, like most of the time you want the energies in the discard pile. If a lot of energies accumulate in your hand and you can't get them in the discard pile, then you can't put them back into a deck for Kyogre to attack or for Mirage Gate purposes.
Now Irida does grab that cross switcher and Frigibax. I don't know if Frigibax is going to be played down just yet because it allows Raikou to actually take a knockout on something like a Chien-Pao. But I guess if you're worried about that Baxcalibur getting knocked out, you should always play it down.
Yeah, I think you're so far ahead here as Yoshi that you don't mind the Chien-Pao going down, honestly. If they use Raikou, then you just use another Chien-Pao and get the return KO. And Logan's about to lose 2 Pokemon as well, so can Logan even fill up his bench at this point? I don't think he can. Ooh. Not a big fan of this discard of the Chien-Pao, though. As we see Yoshi hesitate.
There is 3 in the list, but it does limit the resources available going forward. But you would have to assume this attack here is going to be pretty game-ending, just like how Logan's Sableye was on the previous game.
Indeed, I think with time being a factor, with how both decks tend to play this matchup and how both decks require setup required to get going in order to do that big damage, I definitely think after you see the canceling Cologne get played and you don't top deck a Colress, that's the time to go, all right, I want to make day 2. I'm going to play out this game 3 and make sure I have enough time to finish it.
Well, how can you top deck a Colress when they're both in the prize cards?
Exactly. I'm saying, like, in terms of Logan's perspective, in case he doesn't know, right? We have perfect information. I'm not sure if he checked all his prizes or not, but there's the Greninja knockout, just like the Bidoof plus Frigibax knockout, right? Bye-bye Comfey, bye-bye Sableye.
Hisuian Heavy Ball. Logan's going to be able to look at those prize cards and cry.
Yep. If he didn't know before, he definitely knows now. I generally think he wasn't aware, right? So unless you top deck that Colress, like hoping, then you find out. I think it's time to go to game 3, so we actually get to see a full game. Otherwise, a tie puts both players out of day 2 contention.
All right, prizes back where they belong. Logan's hand is not doing too much. Echoing Horn is going to bring back Chien-Pao. All right, well, hey, you discarded it anyway.
Yeah, no mana fee now. Possibility for Yoshi. However, this would be great if Logan pulled this off when he was at 4 prizes. And maybe you have a glimmer of hope. But when you're still at 6, where do you get the first 2 prizes to then follow that up with a Kyogre KO before they bench the mana fee? I'm not seeing how you pull this off. Maybe I'm missing something, but I am generally not seeing it.
Super Rod here is going to shuffle back 2 Comfey and a Sableye, try to get those back in play. Now with a full bench and a Chien-Pao in the active, you can take a knockout with Raikou, but there's no real way that's coming in the active unless Yoshi decides with an escape rope.
Yeah, this is going to be rough. Even if an escape rope gets played, I think you just sacrifice the Luminion. Every other Pokemon is very valuable to you. Every other Pokemon has some sort of use. Maybe you consider the Bidoof to not give 2 prizes. And we do see a Comfey, but what else? Yeah, there's not much else going for in this hand. And we are going to see the escape rope decision, though.
Escape rope or switch card here. Still have a little option to decide, right?
Yep, now One frustrating thing here for Logan is the fact that he has a lost vacuum. He can get to 9 cards, but there's no stadium in play. There's no tool cards in play, so you can't just play a card to Lost Zone 1 and then call it a day. Yeah.
That's the reason why you don't play that Skater's Park. So Logan can't get that extra card with the lost vacuum in the Lost Zone.
Indeed, that is a very good reason. Maybe that's the reason why you go for the cross switcher play. Yeah, but honestly, if that was the train of thought for Yoshi, great play for sure. Yeah, very, very impressive.
Big flower selecting here, switch cart and Sableye. That means no way to get the 10th card in the Lost Zone. That Sableye is not doing anything on that bench.
Indeed, and I don't know, even with 10, yeah, you get to 10, you place total damage counters. Where are you placing them? Knocking out Bidoof, not good enough. You can't knock out anything else. It's really, really rough here. One more card.
Oh, Comfey. Okay.
Yeah, that gets us to 10. That does get us to 10. And we do have the escape rope still, and we do have the switch card, so we got to 10. Yeah, we got to 10.
Yeah, she's like, I just got rid of those.
Ooh, difficult choice once again.
Pokestop and Mirage Gate, seems like.
Yep. Mirage Gate gets Lost Zone. That will leave Logan with exactly 1 Mirage Gate.
I'll go first.
Yep,
All right.
There we go.
I like that decision.
There we go. A little delayed. Could have had an extra 3 or 4 minutes, I believe, after that knockout, but he tried. Yeah, he tried. I just feel like even if you get to 10, even if you get to keep both of these cards, what else are you doing? How are you closing out the game? How do you get 2 prizes into the Kyogre, especially when there's a Raikou in play? Your opponent gets a double cross switcher again. That's gone, and then you have 1 churn. Really, really difficult to pull off.
Both of these players, remember, need a win to make it into day 2. A little over 15 minutes left. Probably going to be a little under when they start play. With the way these games have gone, though, they're kind of decided by the first couple of attacks.
Indeed. Both players have been able to do decisive multiple prize knockouts that determined the game. Yoshi eliminated double Comfeys, Logan eliminated Frigivax and Bidoof. So going first, I think is going to be huge for Logan right here. Being able to guarantee that you get those cards in the Lost Zone first, get closer to a Greninja play, and try to disrupt Yoshi's setup, which so far have been pretty weak in the beginning at least.
It looks like both players are pretty aware of the time left. They know that they need a win. They know that this game can't end in a tie, so hopefully we'll see a pretty stellar Game 3 here in our Round 9 in Toronto.
I generally think the time that we have left should be enough. It should be enough with the +3 turns to be able to determine a winner. So I'm really hoping we'd see a full game and one of these players makes it to day 2.
Looking at the hand for Yoshi, though. Not to, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
what is
Logan, you need to
happening?
calm down with these prize cards here. 3 Comfey in the prize cards, along with Roxanne, Mirage Gate, and the Energy Recycler. Yoshi, on the other hand, a couple energies, Origin Form Palkia, Heavy Ball, Pokestop, and Nest Ball.
Oh, Logan's about to get the bad news really quickly. That double Nest Ball would normally go for 2 Comfeys. He might not notice it the first time he goes through the deck because he's going to choose a Comfey, unless it's like at the very end of the deck.
It is at the very end.
All right, so will Logan figure out immediately that he prized 3 Comfeys? And I'm pretty sure it's going to be really difficult to hold back a reaction here.
This is insane. All right.
You guys didn't know you were going to get so much
the one and only Comfey. Off this Nest Ball, Logan has another Nest Ball in hand.
This is an entertainment.
Choosing not to play it yet, though, which I think is smart. Like, if you flower select, ideally into another Comfey, you can save that for Cramorant, or you can save that for Greninja. So I like this, even though I really like it as well if you just, like, fully thin to maximize chances of getting a Colress.
Hisuian Heavy Ball off this flower selecting would be great.
Goodbye, Raikou, and this is definitely giving us the 3 prize Rowlets memories. Do you remember that from
oh my God.
NAIC? That was, what, 2017 NAIC? That's a long time. Keeping with the I'm old team, yeah?
Yeah. If Logan was taking notes, there'd definitely be a frowny face.
Look at his face. Look at Logan's face. He cannot believe it. There's 3 calm face prize. Look at his expression. That is crazy.
Some people have a poker face.
Yeah.
Logan does not.
I feel like it would be really hard to have a poker face when you priced 3 calm face after pricing 2 call raise, after pricing 2 call raise. Like, what is happening here?
Just tell me. It'll make it better. I'm like a bartender or a priest. If you come to me with all your problems, I'm willing to help.
Right. I love Yoshi.
Oh, okay.
Such a character. You love to see
If I want to
it.
be a good priest, you got to tell me up front. There's no absolution if you wait to ask.
All right. Pokestop cannot get Colress discards.
Oh.
Oof, that is a big discard. That Cramorant, which I think has been so crucial and so important.
Pass turn.
No energies, only 1 current lost zone, no Colress, but Yoshi's hand
It's
leaves
not
a
very good.
lot to be
You get
desired.
muscle cramps in your hands.
I feel like this Pokestop for Yoshi is going to be everything, depending on this card.
Oh, what
Battle
a
VIP
top
pass off the
deck.
top.
What a top deck. We are seeing the complete opposite now. Wow, that is an incredible card to find after looking at that hand with so many
First one.
very
Right,
good
right.
but not very useful cards at this point.
Now, again, I think it's not going to be too big of a deal this turn, at least in the sense of getting set up for next turn. But just being able to get down a Frigibax and a Qian Pao, a lot better than just passing. I think the rest of the hand still isn't very good. I don't know if there's an energy to concealed cards, just like Logan had no energy for concealed cards.
Yeah. I mean, I think there might have been double cross switchers so that you can switch into the Baxcalibur and get energies through Shivery Chill and then start using concealed cards. But I think at this point, if you looked at Logan's expression, you definitely know something is up. But as Yoshi, can you afford to take that risk? Will you choose not to bench double Frigibax if you have the possibility? Will you forgo the Bidoof or the Manaphy? I don't think you play it risky, especially in Game 3. I will say, though, both players are taking their sweet time, and with 10 minutes left on the clock and a lot of single prizers in play, I don't know. We won't necessarily have enough time to finish this, assuming that both players are off to a slow start, which I think is the case, at least for now.
Now, I don't know if there's double cross switcher in Yoshi's hand here, but there is that B barrel for next turn. So as long as Bidoof sticks around, going to be pretty beneficial.
Yep.
And I don't think there's going to be a way for something like even a Cramorant attack next turn.
Yeah, I mean, Cramorant hit the discard pile because of Pokestop, so with
I
no
think
Colress
the
in
kids
hand,
call this
with
spinning
no
the wheel.
Battle VIP pass played, Nestball's gone.
Spinning the wheel. Don't discard double Baxcalibur, please.
I mean, for anyone who's played Pokemon
I
Go,
believe
you
in
literally
drama like a
spin
good
the
TV
Pokestop, right? Ouch.
Oh, that's the second cross switcher.
That is the second cross switcher. You're right.
Does discard the Manaphy and Irida, though.
Yeah, did have. Oh, yeah. Wait, is there?
Well, now there's
yeah,
the second
there
cross
is.
switcher.
There
I
is.
believe there's a Super Rod in hand as
Right.
well, so you can get that Manaphy back if you'd like for next turn.
So very, very bare bones for Yoshi, but he's definitely getting
the Manaphy.
ahead in a more decisive manner than Logan, especially Logan. Now that the Comfy is on the bench, it's just getting worse and worse for him.
Shivery Chill is going to grab a couple energies now. Yoshi's going to be able to attach to the active Qian Pao, and that's pretty much it. Now the real debate is it's going to be a hard escape rope for Yoshi to deal with, only having that Bidoof and that Frigibax in play. But with that Cramorant being discarded with the Pokestop, it's going to force Logan to try to find Super Rod, get that back in, then search it out yet again. This is a very interesting Game 3.
I really wish Yoshi played a little bit faster, though. He's taking his time here. I mean, considering removing the Pokestop, sure, but if you want to win this game, especially after seeing an underwhelming turn by Logan and that phrase that he did when he searched through his deck, I think you really need to rush things a little bit more before, or if you want to make it to day 2 here.
That tire running square.
Oof, what a top
VIP
deck.
pass. Oh, that's not what you want to
That's
see on
the
turn 2.
like to
worst
tell you, I
feeling
appreciate your
ever
energy. Either
top
way,
decking
no
that
matter
Battle
what I do, I
VIP
appreciate
pass.
it.
Yeah.
To see escape rope, and we're
No,
gonna
I saw.
sit
I
in
was
the
just
tank
thinking.
for a little bit. thinking about the Frigibags. I think I would rather risk the Frigibags than
Yeah.
the Bidoof because you have the follow B-roll, and you know with just one attachment, if there's a Kramer KO, you get return KO, right? However, the Super Rod in the Lost Zone gives me the shivers. Oof.
You did that one a little too quick. I'm not
Flower
sure how
selecting,
happy I am
getting
with
rid
that.
of Echoing Horn, finds an energy, and now you can concealed cards. Colorless Experiment off the top. No, another Battle VIP pass. That's going to be the turn for Logan here.
This is so rough because if Yoshi actually finds KO in the comfy, that's no more comfies left unless you Super Rod back. That's so rough here. Such a slow start when, I don't know, under normal circumstances, you should already be firing on all cylinders if you're Lost Box.
A little over 6 minutes ago, Yoshi top decks that Radiant Greninja. Now you can get concealed cards into the mix along with that Industrious Incisors from B-Barrel. Boss's orders in hand. You have the energy.
Alone.
If you kind of need the energy to retreat.
Yeah, and then you go fetch 2 more with Shivery Chill. You're fine. I think if I were Yoshi, I'd be very excited. My opponent had 2 bad turns. I'd be flying through my cards to be able to finish this game and get this win.
Listen, that's not Yoshi, all right? He thinks about these plays, wants to make the perfect one every time, especially when he's playing a list that is as teched out as he usually does. Here's that Industrious Incisors, 3 cards.
I would have even played down the Canceling Cologne. Just like maximize your chances of hitting that Excalibur and get the damage. You don't need to take the prize when your opponent has 1 Comfey in play and hasn't played Colress this whole time.
Shivery Chill is going to grab a couple more energy from the deck. Still has access to concealed cards and then attachment for the turn. So we'll be able to take the knockout on that Comfey.
No, he did already attach to retreat.
That's right.
into
Okay,
that champ
does
out,
need
so
that Excalibur.
does need to find Iridar Rare Candy Excalibur. So not great chances. Another thing important to note about Yoshi's list is that he's not playing the maximum amount of Pokestops as the other 2 versions. He's only playing 1, so chances of Excalibur are quite low off of these 2 cards. Not impossible, right? 1 Irida does it. We'll have to see if that happens. But if not, then that's going to be another lost turn here. Or not lost, but like another underwhelming turn and 5 minutes left on the clock. I was very hopeful this game would end and we would determine a winner, but neither player, I don't know, like showing that they really want together. Logan not having many options, right? But I think should be a little more aware of the time. You really want to get that win today too. The tie puts both players out and you have such a big advantage as Yoshi.
Yoshi eyeing down that boss's orders just to kind of disrupt Logan a little bit more, not being able to really do much this turn, but bringing up that Manaphy yet again means Logan's going to have to play another card like Escape Rope or switch card to Flower Selecting into something, and here we go. Logan draws an energy for the turn, so that's concealed cards.
We have concealed cards, we have Flower Select, we have potential Super Rod for the Cramorant to do something, right? And I think Logan, based on karma, he really deserves a Colress. He really deserves a Colress off this top deck. By putting these 2 cards back into the deck, that does mean that the odds of finding Colress are a little bit lower, but the Cramorant is definitely something that you need if you want to get something done. But with 3 minutes, almost 4 on the clock, I was very hopeful this game would end. I am not very hopeful anymore.
Oh no, okay, switch card, Flower Selecting. Where is the Colress's Experiments? They're not in the prize cards anymore. Oh no!
No Colress, no Cramorant, no attack, no nothing. He could scratch, I guess. He generally could scratch. I don't think that does him any good. Doesn't lose the Comfey though, and that seems like the most expendable Pokemon here to get rid of. We might actually see a scratch. I was kind of sort of joking. I feel like you'd rather just sacrifice and say, well, keep the energy for retreating purposes for Greninja, but we do see the scratch.
We were looking for the break the internet.
Scratch does do 20.
Yeah, but scratch does 10 more damage.
Nobody was ready for
Don't
that.
underestimate the scratch. Oh,
Rare
what a
Candy
top
off
deck.
the top, has the
I'm
Ultra
still
Ball
not-
in
I'm still
hand.
recovering.
Yoshi's going to need to play this turn
Oh, I do
fast
20?
though.
Oh, God, I didn't even know. Yeah, use it. I didn't even know
Having a
that
good
food
time,
was
though,
food.
both
Yeah,
players.
definitely both players having
Yeah,
a
I
good
did not
time.
know.
I think at this point, if you're Logan, you know there's basically
See, we've all
zero
attached
chance
with the wave
that
splash before,
you win
know,
this
we've
game.
all let
So
Vanderbilt get out
I
there.
guess
Ain't
an
nobody
extra
out
point
here
helps you
scratching.
get closer to top 128 or top 56 tiebreakers for championship points, which is always good. I really think this is a big missed opportunity for Yoshi, though. If he had been playing a little bit faster, Logan's turns haven't taken much because he literally cannot do much, right?
Oh.
So if we had 5 minutes on the
I
clock,
don't have a legal target
maybe,
for the rare candy. I just played
but
it down for some odd reason.
yeah, we're seeing,
Okay,
I don't know.
just wanted
It doesn't
wanted to
have
get
the
it clear.
Baxcalibur
Yeah,
in
ooh, that
hand
was
just
awkward.
yet. Has that Ultra Ball to go find it. Thought maybe the
Oh my God,
Frigibax in
that
hand
was
was
quite
the
terrible.
Baxcalibur.
like,
Yoshi got a little
yeah,
ahead of
boy.
himself.
I mean, with that art, I honestly,
Oh, use the
it
Greninja?
can be confusing. Some of the
Yeah.
trainer gallery, all of them are so beautiful, but the Frigibax and the Baxcalibur, they have so many colors that sometimes I do get confused, especially from this angle. It's not easy to see, but we're going to see the Ultra Ball, we're going to see the Baxcalibur. 2 cross switchers have been played, right? A boss's orders have been played, so now a 2-price turn for Yoshi is in the cards, but not anytime soon, right? 2-price turns with Greninja are definitely off the table. So how do you get 6 prizes when there's 1 minute left on the clock? It's impossible at this pace.
Yeah, I believe if Yoshi is able to take a prize on this turn and pass the turn before the time runs out, then he'll at least have a chance to clean up the board that's left.
Yep, but any other Pokemon
Now
hits
I
the
have a
field
legal target to
and
use that
it's
card.
over. But I don't think the turn is going to be over anytime soon based on the actions that we are seeing.
All right, super cold. Gonna attach a bunch of energies here. Has that Skater's Park now, so can retreat into anything you want. Get those energies back in hand. And I believe we are retreating to...
That scratch is
Greninja?
very intimidating.
Yeah.
That scratch like puts Chen Bao in range of something. I don't know what, but something. There is a canceling Cologne in hand.
Play down the entire hand, canceling Cologne, draw double cross switcher off of Industrious Incisors.
But then you already retreated, and the Greninja is active.
Oh,
so
that's
then
true.
that doesn't make much sense. And then you already played your boss.
And it looks
What
like
are
the
you
time
hoping for?
has run out here. We'll get confirmation that it is turn 1. Yep, looks like it. Or turn 0.
Turn 0, yeah. Even with cross switcher, like, what do you even do here? The cancel Cologne is basically useless. You play that down. So many other actions could have happened here. And now with 0 minutes on the clock, Yoshi is turn 0. Logan will be turn 1, Yoshi turn 2, Logan turn 3, and there is no possible way that I am aware of for this game to end.
Well, there's a way of, one of these players conceding to the other, but
One of these players could concede. We could see an unrewindable mistake that could lead to a
don't
game
put
loss
that
as
in the
well.
air, Pablo.
Definitely not going to happen. Definitely not going to happen. Not with the way, with how careful both of these players are being, that's for sure.
Irida here going to find cross switcher along with something like maybe that Luminion V.
I just want to look through here real quick.
You got all the time in the world now, Yoshi.
Technically, he doesn't. Yeah, I think that's something important to emphasize, actually. I think a lot of players think, okay, time's up, so now I'm going to really think things through. But generally, you have to keep up the same pace in the +3 turns as you are during the round. I think that's especially important for local tournaments.
Yeah.
I think that's something I run into a lot. A lot of players, time is called, and then it takes 20 minutes to finish the rest of the matches because players are taking that switch precious time. They have 2 cards in their hand, and they're really thinking through, and it's important to keep up the pace and to emphasize that to make sure that rounds do end in a timely manner for sure.
And I guess you were losing 2 energy anyway, so having attacked with the Radiant Greninja,
Yep.
just all right.
Targets down the mana fee, but does not work.
Another energy for Logan here. Concealed cards, 2 more cards off the top. No Colress's experiment yet again. Super Rod energy. This has to be a Colress's
There
experiment.
has to be a Colress here. Mirage Gate and
Lost
no.
What is going on?
Colress. I guess it doesn't matter if you price 2, right? Because when you price 2, you find them more often than when you actually have all 4 available to you. This is crazy. But I generally think this game 100% comes down to that triple comfy price. Even if 2 were priced. If Logan had access to 2 comfies, this would have been a completely different game. And we would have seen cards flying around on Logan's end to close out this game and take advantage of Yoshi's super slow setup. But at this point, that triple comfy in the prizes determined the outcome of this game. I am very deflated. I really want to see a very exciting game back and forth to the last turn, and we're seeing a defensive retreat.
All right, there's the pass of the turn. Radiant Greninja in the active spot. Yoshi is turn 2 now. Just one more turn left in the game. Yoshi does have Irida, has the canceling Cologne, cross switcher, so we'll be able to bring up the Manaphy, take the knockout on Manaphy and Comfey, and maybe that's enough for Logan to say, all right, you got this game.
Maybe, yeah. An honorable concession in a game where you know you have very little chance of winning. That's definitely on the cards, right? We'll have to see what ends up happening. Here, the double KO leaving a single Greninja would pretty much mean that you're about to win the game, right? So there is that board position to consider. We'll have to see what ends up happening after this turn.
Yoshi does have that Mew EX, so you can cross switcher to the free retreat.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
And then immediately retreat.
That was priceless.
There's the cross switcher into the Manaphy. So we are going to see this double KO. Will that determine our winner? There's the canceling Cologne.
Superior energy retrieval to go along with it. Will allow Yoshi to grab 4 energy from the discard, so has plenty of energy to work with here.
Kind of would have liked the concealed cards before playing this just to have more options. Discarding the energy anyways, might as well get 2 extra cards. Surely you'll find something better to discard, and you get to see more cards, and you get to thin the deck.
Super cold. Super cold.
Super cold being announced here. 2 on Mew. Nope, never mind.
Cold.
1 on B-Roll.
I guess just preventing the possible, like, I would have the retreat out kind of thing with an energy. There is that Moonlight Shuriken, double knockout for Yoshi. Turn 3 of time. Can Logan even find a Colress's experiment? Oh my God.
even like reveres it. He's so honored to be able to be in Colress's presence finally in this game 3. Finds another one, right? Too little, too late, unfortunately.
Plenty of Mirage Gates now.
Nope.
Those don't go to the discard. They go to Lost Zone, but that does not matter. Can Mirage Gate here take a knockout on Frigibax? But remember, this is turn 3 of time.
Wow, and there's actually one more turn, and then Logan would have lost by benching, right? One more turn. That's all Yoshi needed. Well, there's a Kyogre. Never mind. Nope, not going to happen. 2 more turns, right? Imagine if there were 3 minutes on the clock, right? Played a little bit faster, we would have a guaranteed day 2 participant.
Yoshi now deciding for the escape rope here. Kyogre, are we going to see an Aqua Storm with like 20 cards in deck?
I mean, why not, right? Why not? There's no mana fee. Maybe you get a 3 price turn right here. I think he's going to do it. I'd love to see this happen.
I mean, honestly, if you knock out that Baxcalibur and the Frigibax, oh, okay. Not as fun.
Well, we could still retreat into the Kyogre double Mirage Gate. There is that option.
Let's see it.
Please,
Recycler,
Logan, do
and
it.
a Super Rod.
I think it's going to happen. I think we're going to see the lowest odds ever Aqua Storm. All right, there's the first one. How many energies are even left in the deck? Oh, I can't see.
There's only 1 in the Lost Zone, I believe.
There's non-prize, so Mirage Gate number 1.
Oh, yeah. Water on that Kyogre on the bench. I'm ready.
Can you imagine you hit 4 energies and all of a sudden you go, KO Baxcalibur, KO Frigibax.
Honestly, that's the one, I guess, route for Logan to kind of say, like, hey, I don't think you win this game right away. And
Yeah.
Super Rod back.
Two
Two more energies. Those energies going to get played on that Kyogre. Aqua Storm with 20 cards in the deck. There's some energies in there.
There's some energies. There's some energies. All right. So the lowest odds, but yet most entertaining Aqua Storm in the history of Pokemon TCG about to happen right here.
I'm just glad it's not going to be a Surf again.
Aqua Storm.
All right. Top 5 cards.
One. 2. 200. 150.
50.
So close.
So 150.
Baxcalibur has 160 HP, 1 card away from pulling off the most insane Aqua Storm I've ever seen.
All right.
All right, we'll get confirmation on who actually is winning the game, who if it's a tie. But Logan showing off the 3 Comfey in the prize cards.
Okay, I'm fairly certain pricing 3 Comfey in any given game, or 3 copies of any card that you play 4 of in any given game, happens once out of roughly 1,000 times. So we just witnessed a 1 in 1,000 game on top of the 1 in a billion Kyogre that we just saw.
It's just crazy to think about. Okay, we got confirmation. Logan is conceding the game to Yehoshua Tate. Moving on to day 2, 6-2-1 by the skin of his teeth.
By the skin of his teeth, indeed. Now, very good to be very methodical with your plays. I really wish we had seen an extra Comfey hit play, and then I think we would have had a much closer match with a much more exciting Aqua Storm at the end, as we saw.
Let's go ahead and take a look back at these games. This is game 1. Logan has that escape rope Cramorant play, able to take the knockout on a Frigibax. Pretty good start for Logan there.
Yeah, that
Yoshi not able to find that Baxcalibur early.
Yeah, that KO definitely determined and opened up this play to be able to utilize Sableye to take the double knockout on the Frigibax and the Comfey. So that denial, that first hit of Cramorant was so crucial. And then we never saw Cramorant show up again. I think that's pretty crucial. And I love the reasons why I'm personally always looking to fit a second Cramorant in my deck, just because it's so essential. You get that hit in, you get some quick prizes, and you're able to close out games by following up with Sableye, as we just saw.
And a pretty fast concede from Yoshi there, that game 1. But game 2 has the canceling clone combo with cross switcher. Moonlight Shuriken taking a double knockout on that Comfey and Sableye, leaving none in play for Logan.
Yeah, essentially the same scenario. 2 essential Pokemon going down in the same turn, leaving you very, very bare bones. And then took a little bit, but we did see Logan concede after asking how much time was left. As we see him pick up his cards after asking. So yeah, interesting series of events we had.
And then of course going into game 3, it's all smiles for both of these players until that 3 Comfey in the prize cards for Logan.
That reaction is definitely worthy of a replay. Like realizing you prized your 3 Comfeys, 1 in 1,000 chance, and then the top deck, right? Followed by that specific top deck.
Battle VIP pass off the top for Yoshi in this game 3. And then the Pokestop getting the cross switcher allows some energies to be added to the hand. Then you have that Baxcalibur with the rare candy. And even with the Manaphy in play, taking a knockout on the Sableye, and then eventually closing out the game with taking another knockout thanks to canceling Cologne and that Radiant Greninja yet again.
Allowing Yoshi to get so far ahead in the game and basically seal things up, even though the game technically did not finish. Logan doing the very honorable thing and deciding to concede and allowing Yoshi to make it all the way to day 2 after this exciting Aqua Storm that we're about to see.
Yeah, it is the Colossus experiment that just did not want to find his way into Logan's hand, and the Aqua Storm trying to do the impossible, and it's still impossible. 3 energy though off the top 5.
Honestly, I wonder what happens if in a regular game, right? Logan hits 4 there in the situation he's currently at, and then sure, Yoshi takes another knockout, but with no Excaliburs and no Frigivax in play, all of a sudden there's a window, right? There's a window where Yoshi has to discard the energies to be able to attack, get the KO, and then Sableye comes and sweeps the board of any Frigivax left over, and combined with our Roxanne, all of a sudden the game could have turned sideways. So low chance